Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining you today from WisCARES, we have Aubrey in. And if you've never heard of this organization, I hadn't until it was brought to my attention. But WisCARES is a pretty unique organization, not only helping families deal with different issues, so to speak, but also a little bit in the pet world as well. Aubrey, thank you for taking the time to come over here. How are you doing today? And welcome to Talking Fitchburg.
Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here and talk about WisCARES and how we can help out the community.
All right. Well, let's get started first. I probably butchered right out of the gate here a little bit about what you guys are, but for folks who are not familiar with WisCARES, what is WisCARES?
So we are a low-cost access to care veterinary clinic where we also are a teaching clinic. So we'll have fourth-year vet students come in and practice their skills there. And then we also have 2 veterinarians, 2 social workers, 2 veterinary nurses, and then 1 client care specialist who she does all the scheduling and things. So all of us as a team, we get people in who are experiencing poverty or homelessness, get their pets seen for any sort of wellness or sick appointments. And then on the social work side of things, we talk with students as well about communication, self-care, and also if any sort of social work related items come up where someone could be like, I just lost my housing. They might want a social worker to talk to, and that's where we can come in and talk a bit about that.
So are you having to go to like the veterinary school? Like, how do you get hooked up with you guys? You're like, where are they going to find you at?
Yeah, so that's something, it seems to be where it can pop up at the veterinary school if they have an emergency situation, and some of our clients do go there, and we have that connection with the school, and they're aware of who is a client of ours and who isn't, and we have that communication with the school. It's interesting how people find out about us. I think it's a lot of word of mouth, and some other social service agencies in the area, if they happen to know their clients do have pets, they can bring them to the clinic or give us a call, and we can go through our qualifying process to see if it's a good fit.
So if somebody is hearing this for the first time and they're like, okay, I think I need to talk with you because I have a concern about something. It's something in the low income, maybe it's a housing issue, maybe it's stuff you've stated. Yeah. You know, what do they need to do to start that process? What's that look like?
With that, we have a qualifying process where if you give us a call, it's typically Tina, who is our client care specialist, or on occasion, Jennifer and I, who is the other social worker, will handle those calls as well, any student hourlies that may be available. We can talk and go through our qualification process, which is where we ask questions about what your current housing situation is, how many pets you have, if you aren't housed, how long has that been going on? Just because there's varying levels of homelessness too, if, you tend to be couch surfing, for lack of a better term, or if you're living rough outside in a hotel. If you have any type of income or federal benefits, we just like to get a whole picture and see where you might be connected, or if there is a lack of any social services at all. We'll be like, okay, we can talk about that if they're wanting to. Sometimes people are just like, I want to get my pet taken care of, and this is just a vet visit. So we do a little bit of both.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think it's if somebody's kind of on the fence, they're like, I have some issues going on, but I'm not sure where to start.
Yeah.
I just happen to have a pet, and I'm working through it.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds kind of like a good spot to like maybe consider having a conversation, and you're just there to have the conversation if you want. Exactly.
And I think that can be an unexpected place to find a social worker.
Right.
Whenever I talk about this job, when I say a vet clinic, I need to specify a bit more because, there's veteran social workers. And so I have to say, no, like for animals at a veterinary clinic, they give me a bit of a look like, how does that work exactly? Are you giving the animals therapy? What's going on here? And it's,
I'm not going to say I didn't have some of those similar questions, but I think that's why I think it's important to where the what clinics you're at and where they can find you, I think is really important. But also there's a lot of need for help out there. It doesn't matter, what the situation is. So even if you happen to be, know somebody, you're going to help them find the way, even if it's not pet associated potentially, or maybe you're there, if two people are together and it just happened that you're there to have the conversation.
Exactly. And that's something, to your point, we wouldn't turn anyone away if they did have a social work question. If they didn't have a pet, that would not be best practice, I think. And, everyone, regardless of whether or not they do own a pet, does deserve access to the social services, even if they may not be working with us long term. We're happy to be that bridge over to wherever they may be connected to.
All right. So if you want to help, there's a couple different ways you can help the organization. Certainly you can donate, but you do accept volunteers as well.
We do, yes. And a lot of volunteers we're looking for right now. So another facet of my job is I'm the foster program coordinator. So we're always looking for volunteers that are open to fostering, which is completely free of charge. It is volunteer. You don't have to pay for any type of food or medical expenses. That would all be covered by our clinic. We also have toys and beds and things like that, but we always just want to make sure
the fun stuff. Got it?
Yes, exactly. The fun stuff. And so with that too, if anyone is ever interested and has a love for animals, but maybe doesn't want a pet of their own, but wants that human-animal interaction, then you can absolutely volunteer and reach out to us by giving us a call and asking for me, and we can talk about that because it is really rewarding experience.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool because if you're a pet lover and you want to help, I mean, there are limited. There's a lot of places maybe you can help. Think of a humane society or something, but
that's true. Yeah, they're great too.
Right. I mean, it seems like you're working with everybody, so it sounds pretty good. All right. Well, let's get to if people want to get in contact with you, how can we find you and how can we learn more about what you guys are doing over there?
Simple Google search always does the trick. So with that too, obviously, if you click on our website, you can find our email there, which is WisCARES@gmail.com, and then it can always get funneled to the right person depending on what you're emailing about. But if you like to talk to a human right away, then giving us a call at our number, which I have it memorized now. It's 608-262-3950.
You got it. Got it.
Had me worried for a second.
I would have jumped in and helped you out there.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, check out the website's very helpful. The email stuff is on there. You're also on a bus route as well, which is really nice. So you've got the access there. And you're actually, we were talking about this. She's like, well, we're just over the border of Fitchburg. And I was like, well, what is the border? And we were having that discussion. But you're at 1402 ML Street.
Yeah, it is.
ML? I don't know.
It is ML. I found that out recently. Yeah. Which a client corrected me. They're like, isn't it ML? Because I've been saying email.
I know. It kind of looks like email, but it's not. Street, that is literally just off Fish Hatchery Road, so not too far away from here in Fitchburg. And yeah, I mean, if you have any concern, you're a pet owner, you have concerns, I can't think of a better place to start. Even just ask some questions, because a social worker, it means so many different things. I think officially you could say jack of all trades because you are knowledgeable in so many different areas. But I think that's so important to have that resource.
It definitely is. And I think that's the beauty of it too, is that even if I don't have the answer, I'll just be transparent about it and help you find the answer on your way.
That's part of a social worker.
Yeah.
Get the answer. I think that should be the model. That's probably the conference model if you're going to social worker.
I like it. I like it.
Aubrey, thank you so much for taking the time. Nice to meet you. I hope we can have you back on the show. And if anybody needs help, again, reach out. They're like just right over the border here. So excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you.